Hi, welcome to Patta Empires. My name is Patta. I'm the immigrant, a restaurant owner, a mother, wife, and the Empress. I didn't always feel this way. I was so lost in the past. This podcast will show you how I built and continue to build my empires. If you ever feel lost but you know you meant for more, I'm here to show you the outlook and skill for you to build your own empires. All right, today we have a guest. He's my podcast manager.
Talmage Thayne. Yeah, I'm the podcast manager, and we were talking, and I was like, you know what? This is so interesting. What is it like to be an entrepreneur and an immigrant, like to this new country? How was it just to get started? And her general reception too. So I was just interested in that.
So I just like, well, what about you just being my podcast and asking me this question? So you're gonna start with questions?
Yeah. So in general, coming to this country as an immigrant, what has the reception been when it comes to you promoting your ideas and your identity as an entrepreneur? What have people how have people received that?
So I don't know, 'cause, I don't really have a hard time in life about being like immigrants or, being who I am, because the end of the day, I feel like either I'm lucky or I, believe in myself enough to, doesn't matter what other people would say, it's really bother me.
Yeah. And I think that's such a healthy outlook to have, especially just going into like an opportunity like this.
Yeah, but I have heard a lot of when people are racist or doesn't matter. It's not about being Asian. It's about like Black Lives Matters. Hate Asians. It just happened not a long time ago. At the end of the day, I feel like it doesn't matter you or me, or I talking with like some of my employees who born and raised here as Americans. I think in some part of our life we would go through when somebody's look you down, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think being immigrants or being different is the problem. The problem is just about like of us, the way that other people look to other people.
Yeah, just overall, just ignorance, not knowing where the other person's coming from. It doesn't have to be immigrant skin. It could be anything. People could look down on you for any reason.
Well, one thing that I really find out a lot of time when people start to like either talk bad about you or talk you down, because honestly, like they just don't feel good about themselves, and that's probably something that they could make themselves feel better. Does it make sense?
Yeah, totally. They feel bad about themselves, so tearing other people down makes them feel a little bit better. Yeah. It's not a good long-term goal, but in the short term, you're like, oh yeah, if he's not as good, then I'm not too bad. And
So like I've been called like Chinese all the time, and I don't get what happened. The end of the day was, so what? I'm Chinese. Well, my dad is Chinese.
Oh, okay.
So he was born in Chinese. He grew up in Thailand. I was born in Thailand. And if you want to call me Chinese, call me Chinese.
You're like, it's kind of accurate.
Yeah, if you want to call me a girl, I'm like, I'll be a girl for you. It's just like, I know who I am, but doesn't mean like I'm that strong to like, it could get to the point like people hate me to like, again, like when you are a big dream person, right? So you're going to be like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to like open everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Right. And then majority of people would be like, you crazy.
Yeah.
You can't do it. Like you are just, that's just a dream. Like a lot of time, I think a lot of time when people would stop you of your dream because you was telling your dream to the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I think that a lot, and then that's gonna go back. Like, you are just a Asian girl. It's like, why you think so big? You know, stuff like that. Like, so at the end of the day, you just need to know who you are, and doesn't matter what hurt you. Tell yourself, like, let's successful. Tell people your story,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the only thing that can make me survive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so good. Yeah, I heard a quote is like, be careful who you tell your dreams to,
Yes.
because you might. First off, it might be shocking to find out who are not really your friends, because if you tell good news to somebody and they don't take it well, and they justify why good things happen to you, or say that you won't be able to do something, then you're like, oh yeah, you're not a friend to me, and so.
No, I as some part of, like, on my, there's something like on my, I don't know if I can talk about this, but if not, then on my first podcast interview that went out, and people, I'm talking about like what I have gone so far, what I have achieved through COVID, why many people cannot make it.
Mm.
And, at some point of the time, the restaurant got a phone call about people was trying to report Kim or something like that, call into the restaurant, like just like the next couple days or the day after that interview went out.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I think that if you can accept that this is the normal thing you're going to do in life,
Mm-hmm.
and then put your attentions to a good thing,
Yeah.
right? Keep putting your attention on like building empire. One thing that I find out is very useful to me is if people are like push you down, talk you down, like hate you, like Grant Cardone, like one of my mentors always say, like the first things that he's do, like he love haters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he always
Yeah.
talk about how much he
Love
love
the
haters.
haters.
Yeah, the hater is the only people that basically could give you the power and push you further.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's so true. Man, yeah. And I think that's such a healthy outlook that you have. Even if people talk down to you, even if people are, I don't know, just against you, you're using that to fuel you, which I just think is awesome. Which kind of leads me to my next question. As an immigrant, what advantages do you feel like you have over somebody that you think is just born here and just raised here?
I don't think that I have more than you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you have more than me.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like you was as an immigrant, and a lot of like every immigrant would understand. If you don't hold like American passport, right? You hold American passport, you can go in basically like everywhere in this world without any issue. For Thai people to be able to come here, you need to go through like immigration office, and then probably like 10 of them, they're probably gonna turn away like 7, 8 people. You need to have very strong financials to prove that you're gonna come here and not to like, destroy their country.
Mm-hmm.
And which that protects their country, right? And then you need to, follow the rule. It's take me a long time for me to be able to start my business because of my immigration status. But then if you're asking about what I have more than you have everything on your land. But what I have is like, because I have nothing, that's why I stay humble and hungry.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably like a lot of immigrant would be like that. Like we always stay humble, we always stay hungry. And we always look for opportunity because for us, it's not easy to be, it's not like to be in this land is already a lot of opportunities. It's like, but like to be able to like build my empire on top of this, land of the opportunity. That's why I always look for a new opportunity. I always grab an opportunity. But again, I'm always train myself to be ready. So again, you don't know what kind of opportunity will pass you, right?
Yeah.
And if you're not ready to grab it, you lose it.
Yeah. Yeah, we were kind of talking about that earlier, just like how immigrants seem to understand like opportunities so much better than people that are born here because they're just so immersed in it. They can become like, I can become numb to it and not realize the blessings that we have here. And then an immigrant will be like, you see this happening, you see this and this, like we could do so much with this. Mm-hmm. And so I just think that that's such a great mindset that often inspires like just natural born citizens. Mm-hmm. Because when they see an immigrant like you do what you did, coming here from Thailand, doing a lot of other business stuff, starting with a food cart and then building it up to 4 restaurants and a cafe, it's like, wow, you're putting so many people to shame. It's crazy. But I just think it's amazing. Yeah, I think it inspires a lot of people.
Yeah, I think if you're talking to immigrants, basically I'm telling them you can do this because I am in the same position as you. If I'm talking to like a mother, like I was like, oh, you can do it because I'm a mother too, right? But again, like this message could be sending out to somebody like you that because you already have all of these opportunities, like reminding yourself that, like you have a lot more way for you to get there than me, right? It's easier for you to get support to make your dream come true than me. At the end of the day, I always believe that, inspiring others doesn't matter immigrants, a mother, a woman, a man, or Americans. The more we encourage people to be successful in life, the more this world will become better. Mm-hmm. So I am a person that never care who's going to be the president, what's the world going to happen, what's the economy going to look like. Because you're not going to be sitting down campaigning something that is out of your control. You're going to be try to, start a better world within yourself than my employees, my people family, and we can spread like a better positive or better environment, start with like small circle and get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So like that's probably like what I really wanted out from doing all of this.
Man. Well, thank you so much for letting me be on and ask you some of these questions.
Thank you.
It's so good. Yeah. Man, thank you.
Well, I'm very glad that I finally find somebody to help me put this become real because I've been wanting to do this for like a long time.
Well, I'm so glad I can help out. It's my pleasure. So
thank you.
Yeah.
All right. If you guys need somebody to help you with the podcast, this is the go-to person. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Patta's Empires. I hope you find it beneficial. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out the next episodes. And stay in touch with Patta's Empire in other platforms. Don't forget, stay humble, stay hungry.